Hello everyone, welcome back to Allcarnews, and today we're here with the Cadillac XT4 for 2024 in this really nice premium red paint finish here, and we're going to take it on a road trip today. It's perfect weather as it is snowing right now on a little bit of a ski trip. We have their 20-inch wheels on this particular XT4. You can check those out right here. These are an upgraded wheel package with wrapped in Continental all-season tires on here. Pretty nice wheels looking for this 2024 model year. And the XT4 hasn't changed too much for this model year. We just have that facelift up front, and we do have a new infotainment system and digital screen lifted from the Cadillac Lyric. It's a 9K resolution, beautiful panel, it's curved. And check out this facelift up front for 2024. It's really nice. We have this kind of new redesigned bumper area. We have these new LED lights here, and we're gonna see how this thing does on a drive. We have a 2-liter turbo 4 automatic gearbox in here. Check out the rear cargo space real quick. Some things loaded up in here, decent amount of space. No spare tire in this particular one. A little bit of a cargo divider here, and we can just close up the trunk with a simple press of a button. We also can see our parking camera right here, and we also have a camera up here for our digital mirror, which has a little spray on here to clean it constantly, so it's always clear, which is fantastic. Rear seats are pretty spacious for the class. Let's go check out that new screen real quick and head out on a drive. You have a little bit of a welcome animation here coming on this gigantic display here. Check that out. And this is this massive curved display here. I don't believe it's actually OLED. I think it's an LED display. I think it's like a 9,000 or 9K resolution, which is impressive. And it's a love and hate relationship with this display, this dash here. Now, it's an interesting layout. So on this left-hand side here, we have these 3 little panels here. So we have our gauge display here, so we can keep on this gauge. We can put a map display here, which actually will pull Apple Maps as well in addition to Google Maps, and a clean kind of column display here, which is just our speed. We can also put this little screen here for our trip information. We can have trip 1 and trip 2, as well as just a column screen. I've been using trip 1 for this trip, and we've been doing around 22.4 mpg. So again, hasn't been the most fuel efficient thing. We also have controls for our heads-up display, which we can find up there, which is really fun as well. So again, nice controls on this side. And then again, we have our infotainment system here, which in itself is pretty quick. It's running off like an Android-based operating system. We have built-in Google Maps, My Cadillac stuff. We have OnStar connectivity in here, Sirius XM. And the, Maps for Google does take up this full display here, which is really nice, pretty quick. And when you do throw on Apple CarPlay, it's kind of closes off a lot of this display. It doesn't really take up the whole thing, which is a little bit annoying, but that's something you're gonna have to deal with here. And I do like this vehicle status display here. Hopefully it loads, sometimes it gets stuck, but we have this full XT4 here. You can kind of rotate around and press different areas on it to kind of control, which is really nice. So the graphics and the processing on here are actually quite good. I just noticed some glitches here and there. All right guys, we're back in the XT4 and we're about to head off on a trip, and let's just reset our trip computer and fuel economy gauge. Where is the fuel economy gauge? Vehicle status, right? And then we go to fuel economy, and we can reset our best score. Actually, I don't think that resetting the best score is going to change our average fuel economy number at all. So we're just going to reset our trip computer. Let's reset trip 2. You can see on the left screen here, we just have our trip screen, HUD display controls, and our different map controls and gauges controls. So we're just going to reset trip 2 for this. Hold the screen to reset. Let's see if we can try holding the screen up here. It's this button. All right, and our trip is reset there. We just filled up with almost a full tank of gas. We have 202 miles of range estimated right now, and we will see how efficiently we can do on this trip. We have 13.2 miles per gallon average. Now, we might as well reset our best fuel economy to see if we can reset it to make an even better score. So I'll just press reset this, and let's see what we can do. Let's head off on the drive. Alright guys, we're going onto the highway here. Let's pop it into sport mode really quick and see how this 2-liter turbo 4 can get up to speed. We're in all-wheel drive now. And we've been doing pretty good on fuel economy so far. Even all this city driving for the past around 4 miles, we got just around 20 miles per gallon, a lot of stop and go traffic. But we're gonna see how it can do on the highway here. Pretty good speed to get up onto the highway. It doesn't have the best engine sound, I would say, for this class, but just around 240 horsepower is more than enough on a daily basis. Though there's no kind of mild hybrid system or any kind of 48 volt system, which could probably improve its fuel economy a little bit better. Around 28 miles per gallon on the highway is definitely not class leading, but we'll see how it does on this trip, so I'll keep you guys updated going down. A quick update. We have now made it 33 miles on this, and the average is now 25.7 mpg, which is better, and it honestly has a little bit of some inconsistencies across these displays, which are a little bit different. So this is just calculating based off your trip distance, and then we can see our fuel range here, which is, we started at around 202-ish miles, and it's now saying 195, and we have traveled 33 miles. So I think the recalculations are working, but I wish they'd be a little bit more clear in how they're doing it. Some manufacturers just add more range up, and this one seems to be going the opposite way and subtracting it. Not too bad. We've been using a little bit of some cruise control on this. It doesn't have super cruise, as you can see here. That's not an option on the XT4. Hopefully it would be an option in the future, but right now we just have a regular adaptive cruise control system on this one. We also have this fuel economy gauge here, which you can actually put into your dash when you're not using the map here, and that one's going on like 70.5 mpg, but that's from a different distance than our trip computer is saying. So that one's basing it off like the past 50 miles, I believe, or a total distance of 50 miles. And as you can see up here, it is nice to have our whole mapping system put into our digital dash. You can see this one is running Apple Maps actually right now. You can use the Google Maps based off of this infotainment system. You can change your gauges pretty easily with this button, your normal gauges, a clean gauge mode, and map. Also, we have been using 2-wheel drive mode this whole time. You can put it into 4-wheel drive mode, but I figured the best fuel economy you can get out of it is going to be in 2-wheel drive. Oh guys, we're back with the XT4, and we had a wonderful day of skiing. We took on a short little road trip right up here to West Point in New York at the Victor Constant ski area. XT4 did great, really no bad conditions today, and it was a beautiful day. We were skiing, just snowed this morning actually, and the XT4 is doing great. We got around like 25-26 miles per gallon coming up here, mostly on the highway. It was a pretty good run, honestly, and we're gonna go take it back on this trip now, head back home. And keep in mind, interesting, we actually put 87 in the XT4. Cadillac does recommend more premium fuels if you want to get the full power out of it, but you honestly don't need to. Actually, it runs perfectly fine on regular fuels if you want to save a little bit of cash. But if you do want that full performance, I guess fuel economy too, you might want to go for the premium fuels, but it's just a little expensive where we are right now. Otherwise, really fun trip. We're gonna go head back out and head home. We'll see what we do on this road trip.